Alright, welcome to the monastery. It's Movie Monks. I'm Nathan. I'm joined by Paul as well.
Hey.
Say hello. In true monk fashion, I am fasting, and I am very upset right now. I was at a friend's house yesterday. They had 3 homemade pizzas just sitting there, and I was so upset that I chose this week to do that, but whatever. Didn't stop me from watching movies, though, so we're going to talk about those. And you've seen one movie?
I've seen one movie because I was actually in Seattle for the last 5 days.
Any movie-related news from PAX?
From PAX,
no? Movie cosplay. Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear was there. I have a picture of him.
Cool. Did he say to infinity and all that?
I couldn't hear him because he was standing right by the giant Firefall booth, which was pretty much the full exhibit hall in one area.
Wow, okay, yeah, I've heard some anecdotes on a podcast I listened to about that, and I didn't know how
No, I don't think you understand. Like, you walk through this Firefall booth for, like, a good 5 minutes.
That's amazing.
It's
bad. They said it was, like, a really just in-your-face display, and I wasn't sure the extent of it.
Well, when, like, if you walk in the doors in that part, there's just, like, smoke, and then, like, lights shining everywhere in your face, and, like, the monitors everywhere, and then there's like a whole bunch of computers, and there's announcers like yelling. Like, it's just so terrible.
Weird. That's like a free-to-play shooter, right? Who cares?
Yeah, and
it's amazing.
It's not out yet.
No, I know.
Which is even more amazing.
I went to their site just because like I heard about it, and it was like, "Hey, do you want to join the beta?" And I was like, "Oh, what? What is this? I'm gonna leave." So.
Yeah.
Alright, that's amazing.
It's kind of hilarious because apparently it's been there for, like, this is the 3rd year.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's just kind of the thing that's at PAX now.
That's alright.
And, apparently, if I remember, they were talking on Giant Bomb a little bit about how, like, it's just gonna be the best marketing ploy ever. Because, like, it's just always there, but it never comes out.
Oh, so they just build up, like, a decade of hype.
Kind of like what they did with Duke Nukem Forever.
Yeah. Alright. Weird.
And John dressed like a Blues Brothers.
Oh, yeah. Alright, that's a movie. I haven't seen that in a while. There's a good car chase in it.
Oh, and Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was just there?
Yeah, but like the new Spider-Man. Like with the bluish,
specifically modeled
type.
after the... Oh, like the Tobey Maguire or like Andrew Garfield?
Tobey Maguire.
Alright, so not the new
Not the new one, but I mean the new one.
Right.
Not like the classic Spider-Man. Naturally, as he walked by, John whispered to him, "I love your movies." And he giggled. So that was kind of awesome.
Great. Yeah, this is the first year in some years I haven't made it to the PAX, but oh well.
It's really too bad.
Yeah, I know.
But, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff there, and it's hard to take a lot of it in, so. Oh well. But more importantly, movies. Yeah.
All right. I'll just rattle off a bunch, and I guess then we'll talk about whichever one you saw.
Well, I saw Fright Night.
Oh, damn it! All right. So what do you think of Fright Night?
It's amazing.
Oh, okay, cool. Like watching it, I was like, man, people are really gonna like this.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with me? Because like I was just not doing. It was okay. I was like, yeah, all right. I don't know.
I mean, it's a horror
plenty
comedy.
Of things. Yeah, and it's a pretty good one, I think. I must have been in a mood or something. Did you see it in 3D?
I did, unfortunately.
Did that watching it in 2D because I drove to Airdrie?
Yeah,
because that's the only theater anywhere that doesn't have it in 3D.
Which, for anyone who doesn't know, is about 45 minutes from your house.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
we drove to a small, like a different city to see it. It looked like they did a lot of 3D gags, so they're at least kind of having fun with it.
They did do a lot of, like, in-your-face things flying at you. There was one part that was really cool in 3D, and it's when one of the vampires, like, dies and they explode into dust.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of like their ashes are, like, lingering in the air.
Is that, like, the first time you see that happen?
No, it's,
like they're running out of the house. It's
well,
like, oh, no!
We're gonna get into spoiler territory.
Oh, okay. Well, I was vague. I was pretty vague. I didn't say who or what or when.
At
First
the
time.
one dude's penthouse place.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, let's not. Yeah, okay. I mean, it is a remake, so I guess anyone watching it would know like some of the plot points that happen. But whatever. Let's not dig too deep.
No. I would recommend it.
My favorite one was like dudes just like DJs just throwing T-shirts, and I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, who wants a T-shirt? Throw it at the screen. I was like, yep, right there.
That
3D.
one's pretty good.
Oh,
blood's splattering out of the neck when he takes a bite of that one girl. I think it was a girl.
Probably,
It just like came flying at the screen.
Good old Jerry.
Good old Jerry. Jerry the vampire.
Probably my favorite scene in the movie is that early kind of conversation they have when he's got the beers and there's like, you have to invite a vampire into your house thing.
Yeah, that was so awkwardly done. I love it.
Yeah, they built some like reasonably like authentic horror tension right there, and I was like, hey, that's pretty good. I wasn't expecting that in this movie, so.
And actually, when he went into the place, there was some good tension there too.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that Korean vampire movie Thirst. So I don't know. That's a good association for me, probably. I like that director, Chan-wook Park. So
yeah, he's pretty good.
Like, yeah, it was definitely like I would say it's a good movie. It just was not like my favorite movie or anything, or really too high up there for me. But it seemed totally fine, and I
think it's mentionable. I don't think it's I don't think people will remember it very.
Like, it's kind of its own minor classic, maybe. It's like the original it wasn't really like, oh, this is one of the best movies of the 80s. No. It was just like, no, this is a weird, cool movie. And I guess this will be that again.
Exactly. So, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But that is literally it. For me.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go through these pretty quickly. I rewatched Rango.
And how did that?
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
All right. I still like it. Like I watched it with my sister who fell asleep. I think she was legitimately tired. Mm-hmm. But like also that movie's sense of humor, I guess, is kind of divisive maybe because like a friend of mine basically gave it to me because he's like, yeah, try watching it again. Didn't think it was very funny. I was like, oh, okay. Whereas I still find parts of its weird quirk kind of funny, and also it just looks really cool.
Yeah,
like with industrial light and magic. Done. Just visually speaking, I really like how it looks. So I get the sense of humor. Maybe like some of the jokes didn't play as hard because they're not as surprising, but I don't know. I still like that movie.
Yeah.
Then I watched the first John Carpenter film in like a decade, The Ward.
Okay.
Which I don't want to get into too much specific. Like, there's a specific movie I can compare it directly to, but that'll literally spoil the movie.
What movie?
I can't bring it up, or it'll spoil the movie for anyone who's seen that movie. So, shouldn't have even mentioned it, really.
Okay, but like, is it a big movie that a lot of people would have seen?
Probably. Like, it's not a big movie, but it's like it has a big cast in it, and a lot of people kind of... It's a great kind of party movie, this movie I'm speaking of.
Okay.
I'm getting too... Yeah.
Off the recording, tell me.
Yeah, alright, if you really want to know. It's okay. Like, I think I've basically decided John Carpenter has always had a baseline of quality that even when it's, like, trashy and dumb, it's, like, good trashy and dumb. So like this is one of those. Yeah, like They Live, or even like Ghosts of Mars or something. And I watched Christine this week too, which is really entertaining. Like, it's just like there's this car and it is evil and it wants to kill people, and you're just like, okay. And then that happens for like 2 hours, and I was just enjoying my time. And like the most inappropriately like R-rated movie. Like, it's just like, oh, this isn't really violent. What can we do to get an R rating? Let's just throw the C-bomb in there like 5 times, and like just tons of inappropriate, dirty cursing, and it's really funny. Like, oh yeah, it's great. It's like 1950s kind of sensibilities maybe, and then just tons of cursing. It's great. But yeah, The Ward, Amber Heard, she's thrown in an asylum and has to deal with like a weird ghost killer thing, and then twists happen, and it's really silly, but in a funny way. So yeah, it's all right. I'm gonna watch it with the commentary probably because Jared Harris is the other guy on the commentary track with John Carpenter, of Mad Men fame, I guess, and the upcoming Sherlock Holmes and stuff. So I like that dude. He's a British gentleman. son of Richard Harris. You know who he is.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm explaining this for others.
Totally.
But, yeah. All right. So that pretty good. No, my expectations were raised pretty high, so I don't know if it quite hit that hard, but it's all right. Then I watched The Last House on the Left. Which, do you want to talk about it?
See, this is something we should have probably saved for the recording.
Oh yeah, we had a little fight on
back
Facebook
and forth there, and I felt like it started to get maybe a little too heated for a movie I don't overly care about.
Okay.
Because it started getting a little nasty at the end there.
I think I watched it the same day I watched those other two, and it just, I don't know, it didn't sit well with me. And not because of its content. Like, I literally was like, hey, I've seen Irreversible. Messed up rape scenes aren't a thing anymore because that movie is so crazy with that. So whatever, I'm gonna watch this.
Right.
And then I was just like, oh, this is just not good. Like, it's just not good. I'm sorry, I didn't like it. I thought it was poorly made. And I totally appreciate what you said about, like, it's his first movie and everything, and the cinematographer and stuff. Like, they went on to nothing anyway. So
yeah.
He had a motley crew of dudes and like $90,000. But, I don't know. I was not impressed. Must have been a mood thing, maybe, but yeah.
Maybe.
Also, have you seen the remake?
I saw some of it. I didn't finish it.
You just weren't into it?
No, I had to go, so I didn't finish it.
Like, I saw the last half of it, which is like the big revenge half, I guess.
Yeah. And
I was like, no, this is fine. Like, they give better reasons and explanations for, like, why they decide to stay there. And, like, they do more with the guilt stuff. Like, I guess just the acting is better. Which makes sense when you have a budget. You can go out of your way to get better people.
Yeah.
But that just kind of did more for me than the original did. But, whatever. Is it even really a cult classic? Like, is it held in?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure it probably is because, like, everything can be a cult classic.
Right. There's somebody somewhere.
Everything.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, it's forgettable. I think the reason why people started watching the original again was because of the remake.
Oh, okay.
Like, half the people that have seen the remake that I've talked to didn't even know it was a remake. See, that's annoying, but, I mean, that's not the movie's fault. That's the ignorance of people.
Right, because, I mean, Wes Craven's name is straight up on there. I'm sure they probably have, like, based on the original screenplay or something just in the credits, so you can figure it out. But, yeah. I think just Wes Craven is also another reason a lot of people went back and revisited it. Like, I don't know how I feel about Wes Craven. I don't think he's very good.
I'm
basically
a Craven apologist, so...
So, like, People Under the Stairs is great?
I didn't mind it, yeah.
Alright. That's great. I mean, sure. Just, he has to have supporters, I guess. I don't know. I'm at a point where I'm just like, oh, his movies are, like, baseline, like, generally bad, unless, like, a really good screenplay comes along, and then he won't ruin it. But he should never write ever, because, I don't know. I'm just gonna watch My Soul to Take just to confirm it now, because I've heard that's awful. So, yeah.
Oh, he did that too, didn't he?
Yeah, that was like last year. Scream 4 was totally entertaining, though. And that was like this year. So, I mean, I think that's it. It's like he's the worst writer ever. But he's a totally capable, like, director when he needs to be. So, just don't.
Well, he also wrote Nightmare on Elm Street.
I know. And
I didn't mind the writing in that.
Okay.
That was
I'm more
basically
of a
like
new
Scream.
Nightmare guy in terms of, like, the cleverness that he
Sorry?
brings to it. New Nightmare, I think, was like a more clever movie.
No, definitely.
In terms of the meta stuff and everything. Even though I have problems with that movie, too. Like, the final act is just kind of dumb. But, whatever. It's Wes Craven, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't actively seek out the things he does, but I generally enjoy the things he does.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's probably where I stand.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't mean to even make it a big thing with Last House. It was just like, oh, I don't like it, and then it's like, what? It's American Grindhouse classic. It's like, I guess I don't like that then.
I don't think I really even said that though.
No, you said
I think there was a few comments in there that I said that probably, like, set you off.
I think you called me uninformed or something.
No,
and I was just like, dude,
that was kind
not cool. I read the trivia page.
I know. That line, I think, was maybe a little towing on the line of douchebaggery.
Okay.
I think I said something about how your opinion, while completely valid, is misguided and misinformed or something.
Yeah, that was just like not. I was not into that, so
I
was at work and stuff. It was fine, whatever. Text is hard to convey like proper emotion.
Yeah, because like if it was on here, it would have been with like a chuckle. Okay. But in text, it seems just like I'm getting angry or something. But I totally wasn't.
Oh, okay. I was like, no, it's timeless. It's an important film.
Like, absolutely not important film. But
okay.
No, my only argument was that, like, it seemed like your biggest problems were technical aspect, because I hadn't gotten at this point that you just simply didn't like it. Mm-hmm. And then I was arguing, well, how can you really, like, fault the technical aspects when the whole...
You should have had better cameras. Just go and steal them. I don't care.
Go and steal them. Yeah, so that's really all I was getting at, and then you were just like, I just didn't like it. I was like, oh, okay.
Like, one of the minor quibbles, though, that was, like, it's pretty minor, but I've started reading the cinematography book, and, like, one of the base things they teach you is, like, dude, make sure there's no hairs in there or anything, mm-hmm. or, like, tiny imperfections, or it'll show up on film and look garbage. Mm-hmm. And there's, like, 2 giant sections in that film where that is literally what happened. I was like, wow, amateur hour, right here. This guy had no idea what he was doing. And then I looked him up, and sure enough, he didn't and quit, so... You know,
but you know good. What? We should get off of this topic.
All right, fine. Yeah. Put a pin in it or something, or just forget about it. That's over. Yeah. Yesterday was triple movie day.
Okay.
I went and saw a bunch of movies. I saw Our Idiot Brother.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Paul Rudd.
Mm-hmm.
I love Steve Coogan.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I went.
Mm-hmm.
And it just didn't. There was parts of it that were totally fine. Like, Paul Rudd is just really laid back and charming for most of the movie.
And Zooey Deschanel.
I didn't really like the 3 sisters. They just didn't seem like sisters at all. They seemed like, hey, we got 3 kind of, talented actresses.
Who
Here
were
we
the
go.
3 sisters?
Emily Mortimer, Elizabeth Banks, and Zooey Deschanel. And it's just like, no, these are 3, like, people that I recognize, but they're not. These aren't sisters. Come on, like 3 different mothers, maybe. Like, this makes no sense. And there's like so many subplots going on for like a 90-minute movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like each sister has their own kind of sub story going on,
and then of course his.
And then he has his own like story about his dog, and then his own kind of just overarching thing that he needs to accomplish. And it's just like, this is just way too much happening, and none of it is really resolved.
Is it funny?
Satisfactorily. There's a couple good chuckles in it. Like, that I can't take away from it. There's some just like, that was funny.
Are they
like, that
Paul
just
Rudd
was funny.
Centric?
Mostly, yeah.
Okay.
Like, yeah. I mean, his attitude towards everything is kind of there. And I keep forgetting the guy's name, despite him like constantly showing up in small stuff and just being like, this guy right here, it's pretty impressive. I mean, he should go on to do good things. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna go look up his name right now.
Okay.
So I can share it. Do you remember Cloverfield?
Yes.
The guy who played HUD is T.J. Miller. That's his name.
What's his name?
And I enjoy him. His name is T.J. Miller. He's a talented young man, and I hope he goes far. Because he plays a similarly kind of laid-back dude who's kind of, by default, an adversary of Paul Rudd's, but they kind of just get along really well.
That name sounds really familiar. What else is he in?
He's in, he has a brief bit in Get Him to the Greek. He's in She's Out of My League. He has kind of a bigger role.
Who is he in She's Out of My League?
He's kind of the friend.
Which friend? There's
like the main one that kind of drives him to the airport and everything at the end to make
the one with
happen.
Like the band?
The taller one?
The Halls and Oates cover band singer?
Man, I haven't seen that movie in a while, but I think so.
Okay, if he is who I think he is, that guy's pretty good. I like that.
And he has a small part in Unstoppable, too. I totally forgot. He's one of the 2 idiots that makes the train go wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's just a totally dependable dude, and I hope he goes on to do stuff because he's pretty great. Yeah, one of the best parts of the movie really is him. They're making candles, and it's funny. But yeah, no, too much going on, and Steve Coogan is kind of just underemployed. Like he's just like you play the douchebaggy husband of one of them, and then your plot line kind of ends abruptly, and it was just like, oh crap. So yeah, not nothing special, but kind of fine, I guess. If you're hurting for a comedy, it's not the worst thing going on. But it's all right.
Fright Night, better comedy.
Yeah, Fright Night just better movie. So yeah, if you have to choose.
So if you need a comedy, Fright Night.
Yeah, Fright Night.
Okay.
This one goes for a little bit of the dramedy stuff, but not too hard. Like I thought it was gonna go too far with that, but it doesn't really.
Oh, that's
but
good.
Yeah, just I don't know. Generally, kind of just underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw Final Destination 5.
Okay, I don't want to talk a lot about this because I really want to see it and I don't want it spoiled.
All right, I won't get into it then. It's good. It's like for those movies, it is really quite clever. Like right up there with maybe the first one. I don't know how well regarded.
I really like
I haven't
those
seen the
movies.
first one in a while. Yeah, no, it legitimately tries to just do new things with the formula.
And Tony Todd's in it.
And Tony Todd does his thing. You know, he's like all creepy and stuff.
I have a picture of Tony Todd playing Warhammer with some geeks at our Calgary Expo.
Cool. Yeah, I heard he was there.
That was weird.
Like, he's doing a lot of stuff. Like, I was looking at his IMDb page. He has like 10 things after Final Destination 5, and that just came out. So
good for him. I'm glad.
Yeah, he's just finding work and stuff. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess I just won't get into it, but much. They develop the characters a little better than they ever do, ever. So I was like, oh, weird. Just the tiniest little bit of myself cares about what's going on. That's never happened ever. So, you know, good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I recommend it. And 3D just so silly. Like the opening credits are just like throwing stuff through panes of glass is cool, right? And just does that for like 4 minutes. It's just like, all right, yeah, that ladder's totally falling on me.
Well, to be fair though, like that's what happened with the last one.
Various ones. Oh, did they do shattering glass stuff too, or 3D? You mean?
Just like the random 3D crap.
Yeah, they did random 3D crap last time too, but here it's a bigger budget thing, so they just kind of went stupid with it in a way that I was totally okay with.
Cool.
So yeah, no, for those movies, it's right up there. So check it out if you enjoy seeing people die in absurd, convoluted ways.
Of course I do.
Yeah. And then I watched this weird little horror movie called Intruder.
Okay.
Which is from the late 80s, like 89, 88. I couldn't get consensus on that.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Raimi and Ted Raimi are in it. They're like co-stars.
Okay.
They're part of a larger ensemble, but I guess they were basically doing a favor for a friend of theirs, Scott Spiegel or whatever. It's like a weird little horror movie set in a grocery store. And I've worked in grocery stores, so it was immediately kind of relatable.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, basically people just get dispatched in horribly disgusting ways with grocery store type stuff. So there's a cardboard compactor. Dude's head totally gets crushed, and yeah, great.
Cool.
So
I could get behind that.
It was pretty fun. Like, it just, no one dies the same way ever. Like, it's just, like, weird stuff killing people. And ridiculous, silly thing at the end with who the killer is and everything. Bit of a whodunit. A little bit of mystery.
Whodunit?
You know? Yeah, like, red herrings and stuff thrown at you. And, oh, who's the killer? I don't know. So, yeah, it was pretty fun. And Bruce Campbell shows up for, like, 2 seconds at the end. So...
As is his MO for, like, everything.
Yeah, I guess, you know, the Raimis roped him into, like, hey, can you be in a cameo in our friend's movie? He was like, yep, sure. So...
That man has done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he has. And this is a good one. I thought it was pretty good.
Cool.
And that's that. That's the movies. That's the movies I saw.
Great.
Alright, so... What's your history with the Star Wars series of films?
I like them.
All of them. That's
Mm-hmm.
a all-encompassing. Cool, man. That's great. Prequels. You're just like, yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, obviously,
Grievous,
the
dude.
original, like all the way, but yeah, I don't
No,
mind the
like,
prequels at all. I don't get the hate towards them. You just gotta take them for what they are, which is just fun movies. I guess they're not
yeah,
very
no,
good.
that is a good attitude. I feel the same way. I have those. I can watch, some Revenge of the Sith especially. That's just an enjoyable film.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was like 12 or something when Phantom Menace came out, so I don't hate that movie.
What's your favorite of the three prequel?
Revenge of the Sith. I mean, it just ties in a satisfying way, and there's just tons of weird action. And Grievous has several arms, and that's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got lightsabers, and they spin. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just generally entertaining movie.
They really downplayed Grievous, though.
Yeah, they did.
like hardcore.
They dispatch him way too quickly, but I mean, Obi-Wan's supposed to be good at his job, so
Mm-hmm.
I guess that makes sense. But yeah, no, just some satisfying stuff. The Emperor finally showing up and doing his thing was cool.
Yep.
So yeah, no, good movie.
Why do you ask?
Alright, so the Blu-rays are on the verge of coming out of all of them.
Yeah,
they're
pretty
re-releasing
excited,
all
right?
of them. Oh,
pretty excited
okay.
to buy it again because I've bought it in every other format. So
I mean I got it on VHS. I don't have the laser discs because I never had those, but I've heard they're kind of the best transfer quality of the originals ever. So, may have to look into doing that because guess what?
What?
They keep changing things. Specifically, George Lucas keeps changing things, and it's gotten to a point where I can no longer just like
support
be
it
like
as like artistic merit anymore.
Yeah, because I mean, like the original special editions, like I was like 10 or something. I was excited just to see them in a movie theater,
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, generally speaking, I was okay. Like I was like, all right, they added in the Jabba the Hutt scene, and it looks really bad, but I mean, it was part of the original movie, so sure, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like the hand shooting first thing, we won't get into it. That shouldn't have happened, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Empire, they barely did anything at all. They like just, hey, here's some more Wampa. We got like a shuttle Tidarium. That's it. We'll leave that one alone. Jedi though, they kind of started screwing around a little more than I would have liked.
Yeah.
And they continue to do that because they're starting to do audio additions.
Yep.
And have you seen the clip?
I have.
It's kind of just
terrible.
It's really soul destroying. I watched it once and I just can't
about the Vader
believe.
One?
Yeah.
How? Yeah.
I mean,
okay, so with
what the hell, man?
Greedo shooting first or whatever.
Yeah.
They changed the character of Han Solo.
A little bit, yeah. He's less cold and like just killing.
Okay,
but maybe they wanted to do that.
And then
I don't
Vader,
know.
they completely like changed with this too.
They really, yeah, because I was just thinking back on it. Like Darth Vader, originally speaking, was just this badass villain. Like he's right up there with just some of the coolest villains ever.
Ominous figure.
Yeah, you don't really see any emotions in him. He's just this like semi-cyborg dude, and he's awesome.
And you know what? Even at the end of everything, and I mean spoilers for Star Wars. I mean, whatever.
They're the most, it's one of the most popular movie franchises. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen it.
Even at the end, he wasn't emotional.
What do you mean, Revenge of the Sith, or like the end?
No, the
of
end
Jedi.
Of
the
Jedi.
End, yeah, the proper end. He was not emotional. He was just like you could just see the machinations by his actions, like what's happening in his brain, and it's super cool and awesome. Great moment that happens at the end.
And he's destroying it.
And they totally undermine it in a way that just made me just really sad. And I don't get it, because this is not. He could have changed this like 11 years ago if he really thought this. No, 14 years ago. It was when the first special edition came out.
Yeah.
Like, audio is not a hard thing to do. That is not based on technology at all. This just seems like George Lucas thought of this on a whim one morning and went down there and just changed it.
Yeah.
And I don't not understand why. Like, it's just like here's my explanation. George Lucas is slowly becoming senile, because he's getting old, and that's what happens when men get old. That just happens.
Yeah, and you know what? That's fine.
Yeah, but
when you're
because of that,
art,
he's deciding to make his movies senile as well, because they're now just becoming less and less coherent and just silly, and it's just depressing.
It is.
But no, sorry, what were you saying? His art, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like if the great artists went back and like added paint strokes to their paintings and like just ended up making it look all gaudy and awful after.
And I guess, like, if anyone has the right to do that, it's normally them. But, like, just thinking about it, practically speaking, he is not the director of episodes 5 and 6. He was just a producer/writer. But he's still, like, kind of the author of all of it. So he has some measure of creative, like, right to that stuff. But, I mean, Irvin Kershner and Richard Marquand are dead. And it's kind of their movie too. Like it's that thing. Like, are films collaborative or are they the product of a sole person's vision?
Right.
And I like to think sometimes they're, you know, a collaborative thing. Like Ben Burt is a great sound man. He's done some amazing things, and now we're going back and screwing around with some of his work.
Yeah. And just generally, dude. I mean, people have to know when to stop. Like, it was perfectly fine. Why are you adding stuff? I don't get it. I can get behind some of the additions he's done in the past. Not, like, agree with them, but I can, in my head, kind of see what he was going for. This makes no sense at all. To me.
Yeah, it seems the most frivolous change that just seems like only intended to screw around with people or something like that.
And even though I hate it, I can understand why they even, like, I can make an argument for, even though I don't agree with it, why they would put Anakin in, like, at the very end in his
No, yeah, like
I can make an argument for almost everything he's done. There's no reason why this had to happen. Maybe we should describe what's happening.
Okay, right. Alright, so you know the scene in Return of the Jedi where Luke's getting electrocuted, he's going to die. And then that is the moment that Vader finally decides, you know what, I'm gonna kill the Emperor. And then he just stone cold awesome picks him up and throws him into the generator, and you are like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, originally a very powerful scene because it just shows his mask and like you can tell what he's thinking.
You can,
one stoic shot. Then all of a sudden he just like goes forward, grabs him, and throws him.
Yes, it is amazing, and it's great. One of my defining movie moments as a kid was just like this stuff.
So what are they doing, Nathan?
Okay, you remember the bit in Return of the Sith where he says, no, and it's really silly, and you laughed because, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's also a defining movie moment in that series.
Yeah.
Not in a good way at all.
Right. They basically took that terrible Vader emoting way too much yelling and put it in that scene.
But they didn't do it like that, did they? It's kind of like, no.
Yeah, there's two of them. And it's just like, it's like a bad YouTube parody of, like, the Star Wars movies or something, and no, it's just that's the official canon now, I guess. That's what happens. And I watched it once and just died a little bit. Just like I was like, oh man,
it's like soul crushing.
The other change they did with like the dragon sound was also just really bad.
Yeah, but it wasn't as like disparaging though.
Well, it's like a less like key fundamental Star Wars moment. It's just a little moment that happens, and that sound is terrible too. Like, I basically imagine George Lucas woke up one morning, went down and recorded that himself because it's so bad. It's like someone described it as like a dude stubbing his toe and just yelling, and that's exactly what it sounds like now. Like, it is just the worst stupid sounding thing. But yeah, the Vader scene is so much more just gross and disgusting because that's the end of the saga, is that, and now it's so bad. Oh. Like, even the eyebrows thing, which I was way not into, that makes sense. Dude got burned a lot. There's no way he could grow eyebrows. I understand the logic there. This one is, it's again just changing a classic film character just a little bit in a bad way, and I don't like it.
I can't get behind it.
And I like so many, like a bunch of people are taking like, oh, Star Wars nerds, they're so petty, and it's just like, come on, man. Like it's like I grew up like this was my childhood, and it's just this guy who is the only person who arguably has any right to do this is doing it, and it's just depressing. Like I have those DVDs they released where they basically threw the originals on there as like a crappy bonus feature, lo-fi transfer. It's garbage. I will watch those like just until those discs are done, and then wait for George Lucas to die and the Criterion Collection to come in and save everything.
Agreed.
I can only hope that happens.
Yeah.
But now I'm imagining, like, in his
will,
will...
It won't, because in his will it's going to be
exactly
something ridiculous that, like,
it'll be like,
no
nope.
one can touch this ever.
Right. So then we have to wait until, like, public, like, domain or something, maybe, if that ever is allowed to happen. Oh, it's... Yeah, it sounds so petty, and it kind of is, but, I mean, these movies were really big and really important.
No, it was petty when he made the first few changes that people were upset about. At this point, it's just it's a farce. Like, seriously. Everything he does is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And yes, people get senile, but it shouldn't be spread for the whole world to see. It was one of the most popular franchises ever.
But even just as a collaborator thing, like, no director ever is just like, you know what, I'm an expert sound designer now, gonna tweak this a bit. It's just like, no, just state, like, what are you doing? Like, Ben Burtt did fine. He won Oscars for his work on these films, and now you're just like, no, I think I know how to do it better. Can we make this, like, really silly sounding? That's how I imagine the dragon sounds like in my brain. And, like, oh, Vader saying no, that's more emotional. Because now it ties into my later movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no sense harping on it more. I probably wasn't going to buy the Blu-rays anyway, but now I'm extra not going to. So
extra not going to.
Yep.
You lost some sales, Lucas. Good work.
Yeah, I don't think he cares. He's a billionaire. He lives in space or something, but I just don't understand the logic behind a lot of it. It seems just so mean. That's it for news. I can't think of anything else that's more important that happened this week. Is anything? New trailers or something?
What's that?
Any new trailers or anything? Stuff?
No, I don't really care about news, to be honest with you. Just
cool.
When important stuff happens.
And like some sound tinkering to those movies is arguably the most important thing that's happened. I guess they announced the Yoda thing too. I think we talked about that. I don't know if we did. I've talked about it elsewhere then. Like, they're adding CG Yoda to episode 1.
Yeah.
And that one I was actually, like, totally fine with. Like, a couple weeks ago I was like, oh no, yeah, whatever. That puppet did look really weird and wasn't especially well done, so if you want to fix that, I guess I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, yeah, then to just add this extra screw, like, a week later... I thought they were onto something, and then they, of course, figured a way to ruin it, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about them doing The Thing again?
I'm okay with it, because they've basically said it's part of, like, it's still the same timeline, like, 1982 The Thing still happened.
Okay.
Well, like, because, I mean, let's not forget, John Carpenter's movie is a remake, too.
Yeah, like, that's why I said again.
Okay, cool. I thought you meant... Alright. Yeah, so... I don't know. As long as they play into that whole thing and acknowledge that movie and whatever, like... I think it'll be great. It might be good. Like, quite good. I like Mary Elizabeth Winstead, so...
Yeah, that's
I like
probably the
flamethrowers.
thing that's going to keep me going.
Alright. I can only hope they go for more practical effects type stuff than, like, CG blood happened! And it's like, oh, well... Okay, because that original movie, like, holds up so much better than I imagined it would when I watched it, like, a year ago.
The original, or the Carpenter one?
The Carpenter one.
Okay.
Like, just some of those gore effects and stuff, and, like, weird, it still looks great. Like, that head is crawling around, I was just like,
that's why
I
find it hard to believe that they need to do it again, but, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine, and I will see it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I don't know. I'm optimistic about it. I think it could turn out quite well.
That's fair. Is there anything coming up you're looking forward to? Considering we're only at, like, 40 minutes now?
Okay, just a bit of a look forward. Yeah, I want to see Contagion. I mean, Steven
Hmm.
Soderbergh has that kind of position now where I will just look forward to everything he does. Um,
Oh, there is one I've been wanting to ask you about.
okay.
What do you think of In Time?
Oh,
I can't decide if I
I don't
care
think it.
about it at all.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be good. Like just based solely on Justin Timberlake
Hmm.
is not good. Like I Friends with Benefits confirmed in my mind. Oh no, he actually doesn't have any screen presence at all. Everything I liked about Social Network was David Fincher kind of managing to turn this dude into a like watchable screen presence.
But to be fair, like he isn't a lead in that
No,
movie
he
either.
has like a small supporting role, and
And he plays what he plays best, kind of a douchebag.
yeah.
Yeah.
So him being like a action leading man, like nah. The only reason I would like venture into that movie theater ever would be Vincent Kartheiser as a bad guy,
Okay. Yeah.
because I love Mad Men way too much, and seeing Pete Campbell just spit out villainous dialogue and have a gun and try to kill people, it's just like this is great. So yeah, but I mean, inevitably he's going to die or lose somehow, so I'll be disappointed and not like that movie. But I kind of still want to see it somewhat.
Yeah. Amanda
Yeah,
Seyfried.
yeah, she's got like red hair or something. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know about that, but sure, I guess.
I don't. Yeah. I like. I like the idea behind it a lot.
hmm
I don't know if it'll be good. It
I
does.
don't think it's going to be good. Like, I
No.
think it'll be. I think it will be bad, but it might be still kind of a. Oh, I paid like $8 on Tuesday, and it was all right. I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
It'll
it's
be
definitely a
immediately
Tuesday movie, I
forgotten.
think.
Yeah. Drive. I'm legitimately really looking forward to.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like that could be a great movie. I don't know. Um. Okay, Moneyball based solely on the cast
Okay.
and like Bennett Miller. I mean, I didn't like Capote, so that's not an inherently interesting thing to me. But I don't hate baseball movies anyway, so it might be all right.
Or Jonah Hill.
I like Jonah Hill, so seeing him kind of try to be a little more serious might actually be good. Like yeah,
Hmm.
that's one of my more anticipated aspects of that movie. Killer Elite will feature Clive Owen's mustache, and I want to see that.
I want to see
So
that so badly. It looks
yeah.
ridiculous. I can't wait.
Oh, okay. So this is actually coming to theaters. I wasn't sure. There's this movie called Tucker and Dale versus Evil,
Okay.
which I did not know anything about until I watched the trailer like a week ago, and it
Okay.
looks really funny. It's like a horror comedy, but like
Oh
based on
wow,
kind of
Tyler Labine and Alan Tudyk.
yeah.
That's gonna be decent, I think. Actually,
No, I know. Like
I'll have to look up the trailer for it.
yeah, no. The trailer was like, oh wow, this is great because it's playing off like those horror cliches where there's always like creepy locals,
Hmm.
but it's from the perspective of the creepy locals, and they're really just happy-go-lucky guys who are misinterpreted as being like creepy villains, and they have to deal with that kind of stereotype, and it looks really awesome. I don't know, like imagine the creepy dudes in Deliverance were actually just really nice guys, and they were misinterpreted as like being creepy like rapists or something, and started getting chased around through the woods by people, and it's like, no dude, what, I'm not into that at all, I was
I
just trying to
imagine that
work.
every day.
Yeah, I don't know, it was a pretty interesting premise, and from what I've heard it's actually pretty good, so I actually really want to see that.
Paranormal Activity 3. Thoughts?
They do the Bloody Mary thing, and that is a thing from my childhood that always scared me, so maybe it'll be scary.
Me too. I know that part in the trailer where
Yeah.
they're doing that or whatever. That genuinely kind of freaked me out a little bit because I remembered actually like doing that and being
Mhm.
scared the whole time. But I
Yeah.
mean, as a kid, you have to do it when your friends tell you to.
Like, I was totally dismissive to the trailer when I was in that theater. I was just like, oh, whatever, another one of these. And then as soon as they started saying Bloody Mary, I was like, holy, and I just, yeah, tensed up immediately, just inherently, because that's just tapping childhood memories. So
Yeah,
that's,
so I will probably see that. I don't like seeing those movies in a theater though.
oh, with the crowd? Like, do they just react weird, or
No, I
what?
don't like it because I like trying to go for the full effect of like watching it like at home, like a home video.
Yeah. Like, it would almost be even better if it's just like, oh, I found this crappy VHS tape. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
exactly.
this
like,
movie. Yeah.
I found the
Like
scrappy
the lower
VHS.
phi, the better.
Agreed. Super
Yeah.
8 even, maybe.
Oh.
Depending how old.
Yeah, just set up projector and watch that on a wall.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, sure. Yeah, I haven't seen the second one though, so I'm kind of already don't know what's going on in the franchise. So
Well, this is the prequel, right?
yeah, I guess. So maybe I could just jump right. I don't know. 50-50 could go okay.
How
I like
ironic,
Joseph
hey?
Gordon.
50-50.
Yeah, well, it could go one of two ways. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
whatever. I have this weird like he's just gonna die, right? He's just gonna die at the end of that movie, and it's like it'll be funny, and then it won't be funny at all, and I don't know if I'm into that. Like I think I know what to expect, and I don't know if I want to see that movie. Like I guess I'll see how I'm doing that week, and whether or not I want to go do that. Okay, just a brief. Okay, Real Steel. You're familiar with the movie?
Real Steel. Yes.
Yeah.
I really want to see it.
Okay, I did want to see it so bad. Like the first teasers came out, and it was just Hugh Jackman robots. They're boxing, and I was just like, "Oh my goodness,
There's
this movie
something
could
kind
not
of amazing
happen."
about the part in the trailer where like the sparring bot or whatever, his robot and him are just like
Training.
They're training.
Yeah.
They're like outside and like doing the boxing moves like opposite each other. There was something kind of beautiful about that.
There's a doofy kind of brilliance to the core premise of it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that made me just turn against that movie entirely was the second trailer, and it's just like, hey, we got this kid. There's this plucky 10-year-old kid, and he's gonna roll around with Hugh Jackman the whole time and say plucky 10-year-old things.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh wow, okay, fuck this movie, because this is gonna be terrible.
Kid actors.
And even just based on like the few lines he has in that trailer, that kid sucks, and I don't want to see that. Like, I was so angry they took my like just pure stupid Rock'em Sock'em Robots movie and threw this kid in there and poisoned the well. I mean, it's just nope. It's over.
He was young Thor, hey.
Oh man, okay, that's all right. I didn't like Thor either, so that's not a thing.
No, I'm just saying it's like a basis of comparison.
For sure, yeah.
His name's Dakota.
I was really heartbroken by that second trailer, because I was like, first trailer was like last summer or something, and I was pumped. Yeah. I was jumping out of my chair. Yeah, robots are gonna punch each other for no reason other than it's sport now. And then they had to do that.
Yeah. And as Kate from Lost.
Kate, I hated Kate. I'm gonna say that.
In Lost, or like just her?
No, I don't necessarily hate Evangeline Lilly, but like, Kate in Lost was just like, oh, it's a Kate episode.
Yeah, I would. Begrudgingly watch them. But
I was one of those guys.
Yeah.
Ides of March is a movie I think I should be excited about, but nothing I've seen about it looks interesting to me, like at all. Have you seen the trailer?
For which one?
The Ides of March, like George Clooney's next directorial movie, which has like all my favorite actors, I think. But
no, I haven't actually.
Like Philip Seymour and Paul Giamatti are both in it, and I love those dudes. I like George Clooney, fine. Ryan Gosling's on a major upswing right now, but the movie just looks so just boring. It's like, hey, American politics, guys, selection movie. And I was like, oh, I don't care about those. Is that all you got? And it's like, yeah. And I don't know. Like, I think I'm gonna have to see it, but it just didn't look interesting to me. Okay, The Thing, which we already talked about. Trespass.
Okay.
Nicolas Cage. So yeah, Nicolas Cage is in it. I'll see that movie.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Did you see the trailer for that one?
I haven't seen the trailer for it, but yeah.
It looks kind of bad, but in it they basically say like their house is invaded, like home invasion, like panic room kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I guess at some point Nicole Kidman and him are just going to kind of go off on the criminals, like Straw Dog style or something.
Yeah. Totally
into that. So, yeah. Nick Cage has glasses and he will kill people or something.
Speaking of Straw Dogs.
That looks so bad.
Yeah, I haven't seen the trailer for it. Yeah.
I saw the trailer yesterday in like a theater, and like I've seen it before too, just because like I've had this morbid like, oh wow, they're actually remaking that,
Yeah.
and oh man, just Sam Peckinpah. Like my initial experience with him was not positive. I didn't really like The Wild Bunch.
Mm-hmm.
I own it now though, and like I have a begrudging respect for that movie.
Okay.
But like yeah, then I saw Straw Dogs and Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia in like the same week or whatever, and I was like, all right, this guy's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, now they're going back and screwing around with one of his better movies, and yeah, it just looks really, really bad. But maybe I've earlier in this very podcast I was saying, hey, remakes can turn out okay, so maybe it'll turn out okay.
And like 2 days ago on Facebook, you were like berating me because you thought that I didn't like a movie just based on the fact that it was a remake.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that, but so I guess I gotta put my money where my mouth is and go see all these remakes and
Shark Night 3D. Excited.
PG-13. Not excited.
Yeah, but sharks.
I know. I like the initial idea. I was like, oh well, obviously this is an R-rated gruesome horror movie.
Obviously this is Piranha 3D with sharks.
Yeah, and I was pretty excited, and then again they dropped that, and I was like, oh, never mind. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Three Musketeers, I think, will be a special kind of bad that I will thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah.
Much like Resident Evil. Like, I mean, it's Paul W.S. Anderson. That guy knows how to be stupid, and I think I'll like it. Christoph Waltz is a bad guy. At some point, there are Zeppelins fighting each other. I can't stay away. That's just too good of a proposition. So
yeah, I
will see that movie. The Rum Diary I was talking about with a friend of mine who's Wayne Hunter S. Thompson. I don't know much about that dude at all.
Okay.
But Johnny Depp being kind of weird and crazy, and the director of Withnall and I making another movie, and he hasn't for like some time. So yeah, it could be good.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I like what's his name? Holy crap! It just escaped me.
Johnny Depp.
Well, I mean, I love Johnny Depp.
Hunter S. Thompson.
Because I'm a person, and everybody seems to love Johnny Depp. So.
Yeah, for the most part I do. Yeah.
That guy's really good.
I didn't like Public Enemies very much, but yes, he was probably the best part of that movie.
I was not really into the idea of it at all. So.
Yeah, I mean he's actually quite good in it. Just Michael Mann loves digital stuff too much to the point where it's like, oh, 1930s crime drama? Yeah, digital. It's like, oh, okay. And the look just totally ruins that movie. Like imagine Collateral, but in like 1930s.
Right.
It just doesn't work.
No.
Like that's you're shooting it wrong. I don't care.
Unfortunately, it doesn't have the grindhouse thing to fall back on.
No, it's just like, nope, you just chose the wrong one. You're like, which kind of film stock should I use?
No,
how
you
about
just
not?
failed.
Yeah, sorry, Michael Mann. I mean, I can support most of the things you do, but nope. Okay, I love Roland Emmerich a lot, and I probably shouldn't, but
All right.
Like he's like, to me, basically Michael Bay done right. Like, because he knows he's being silly, and he just shows you big silly things.
But he does it well too.
Yeah, like there's to me, I think there's more of a competence there than Mr. Bay possesses. Despite The Rock being fantastic, I mean, you gotta throw that in there.
But I mean, Independence Day.
Yeah, I mean, Independence Day is great. Alien invasion, piece of junk.
I love it.
Like 2012 was just it was bad, but man, that earthquake scene was the best thing I saw that year. I'm pretty sure.
It was pretty good, but that movie is terrible.
Oh, it is. It goes on like an hour too long, and just the last hour.
I have a feeling we've discussed this.
I know, but I mean, it has to be reiterated. You got to see that earthquake scene on like just the biggest screen or like the highest def thing you have.
The highest def.
Yeah, the highest
I want all
def.
your definitions.
Yeah, for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Just working at Blockbuster, that was one of the best things. Our Blu-ray kind of loop had a good section of that just on there, and every time I'd turn my head and just be like, yeah, that was awesome. So, yeah. his new movie Anonymous is going for more of like his weirdly serious type thing that he does every decade or so, like The Patriot being the last example.
Even though The Patriot was just Braveheart version 2.0.
With America, though, and like the most evil British dudes ever. That I love that movie. It's kind of bad in a spectacular way.
It's good though. I like it.
It's good. Yeah, it's like actually kind of legitimately good. But then in the few flourishes where it goes like too far, and like Jason Isaacs is just a Nazi basically, but in the Revolutionary War, and like he stabs him with the American flag and stuff. Like it's just like, wow, this is so bad, but I love it. So yeah, that movie could be great, and like the whole Shakespeare conspiracy thing, as though anyone cares.
Yeah.
Sure. Do you like the Harold and Kumar movies?
No. I know where you're going with this, and this is a terrible idea.
The 3D one, where they're making fun of 3D. Yeah.
I don't hate 3D movies. I hate the idea that 3D has to be thrown in everything, and I hate Christmas movies.
But okay.
So
I think
yeah.
I'm hoping they're self-aware enough about both of those things being really lame, and I think they are. So they could find some comic gold in there, but I didn't like the last one much at all.
No.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I have any affection for those at all, but I have a little bit, and I'm sorry.
For the first one.
For the first one,
The first
yeah.
one is fantastic. There's some really good stuff in there.
And I don't hate Rob Corddry as a person, so, you know.
No.
But yeah. Tower Heist is maybe? I don't know.
No.
Eddie Murphy's back, and
yeah,
I want him to be back proper.
Ben
and
Stiller,
I don't.
No.
You don't like Ben Stiller?
No.
I just watched an Extras episode, and he was just really self-depreciating and like the biggest dick in the world in that, and I thought it was really funny.
No, he's fine in stuff like that, like in internet things he's okay, and like TV stuff he's fine.
But like
his big movies,
his big blockbuster movies that he does,
can't stand. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's Brett Ratner too, who is like just the most workmanlike director there is. Like he has no artistic stamp at all. He just kind of knows how to point a camera at things. But like, yeah, I don't know. I have like just the faintest hope that it'll actually be like, hey, Eddie Murphy's back, everybody. He cares again. The Norbit and stuff, forget about that. It's finally here. But I don't think this is going to be that.
I don't think so either.
I just want it to be. How do you feel about Clint Eastwood as a director?
I like him.
Okay,
J. Edgar. Actually.
J. Edgar's coming out. I like DiCaprio quite a bit. FBI history stuff. Like, it could be good, you know.
Yeah.
So, I'll watch that. I'm actually, more than I rationally should be, I want to see Immortals. Like,
oh, okay.
Badly. Like, I just want to see it. And I guess Tarsem, like, I just know he has a visual flair that's kind of all he has. His storytelling ability is really poor. But this just looks like a big, stupid spectacle in a way I kind of wanted Conan to be. Like, just like, dudes have swords and they're cutting each other. And it'll look crazy. And I'll be into it.
I think we were talking about this a little bit when we were watching Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
For big, silly spectacle stuff, yeah. Like, I think that could actually turn out to be something I want to just look at on a big AVX screen and just be like, oh, man.
In 3D.
And it'll be like, yeah, and it'll be... no, I don't think it is in 3D.
No, but you want to see it in 3D.
No, I don't. I actually want to see it on, like, flat... Because it looks like to be doing weird kind of tapestry-type stuff.
How is that not going to be 3D?
I don't know. I don't think it is. 3D is not in the title. I'm looking at this poster and it doesn't say anything. Okay. It just says from the producers of 300.
Okay.
Which, I don't love that movie, but, I mean, there's some visual stuff in there.
That movie's not bad.
Sure. I've seen it twice, and I don't hate myself, so, you know.
So there you go.
Yeah, that's an endorsement right there.
Best movie ever.
Alright, just a brief aside in movies I don't want to see at all, and I think they're the worst thing that's happened, maybe, ever.
Okay.
Jack and Jill. Did you see the
I
trailer
don't
for
know
that?
anything about this.
Oh, man. I saw the trailer yesterday on, like, a big screen. This is, like...
Who's in it?
It's, like, Adam Sandler.
Okay, no. Stop.
No, I know. But,
I
like,
hate him.
it is the worst Adam Sandler thing I could even imagine. Like, it is the worst idea for a movie that has ever been made into a movie, as near as I can tell. Like, it is like, alright, Adam Sandler plays both himself and his twin sister, and hilarious hijinks happen.
You're kidding.
No. It is the most train-wrecky trailer ever. Like, do you remember that South Park
Adam Sandler
episode?
is becoming Norbit.
Adam Sandler is like a parody of himself, yeah. It is weird. Do you remember that South Park episode where there's the Rob Schneider trailer? Like,
yeah,
ba-derp-a-derp, ba-derp-a-derp-a-derp.
Rob Schneider
He's a carrot.
is the stapler.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, they have, like, basically that trailer voice guy over this trailer.
Oh, no.
And watching it, it was like, is this just like a giant con or something? Like, it is so incredibly bad. I hope it fails horribly and Adam Sandler just leaves for like a decade and then comes back in another Paul T. Anderson thing, and it's great.
Yeah, and Happy Madison could go the fuck away, too.
Yeah, just the laziest group of people making terrible movies.
Like Bucky Larson? Fuck off.
What is that? Oh,
Seriously.
is that the Nick Swartzen thing? Is that what that is? Like
I think so, yeah.
Like, he's an adult film star.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Yeah. I saw that trailer before 30 minutes or less, and yeah, that looks pretty bad. But, like, that had more going for it than this Jack and Jill trailer. Like,
I can't believe that.
I know. It is the worst, like, 2.5 minutes that exist, I think. I don't know. It's really bad. Alright. I don't know. I'm kind of interested in a lot of stuff coming out.
Piranha 3 Double D.
I hope that's good.
I know. I'm so excited.
I mean, Christopher Lloyd he's still there. And I love
man.
Christopher Lloyd.
Movie of the year.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to beat out Apes.
No.
Yeah.
Don't say horribly offensive things. It's the director
You're
of
just
Feast.
like, don't say things to piss me off, please.
Yeah, no, that is like pushing the one button I have and I will advertise about. Like, that is
not cool,
whatever.
bro.
Not cool. Like, I'm sure it'll be some manner of trashy fun, but like, it could go wrong too, though. I don't know what to expect. I hope Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy is good, based on I like Gary Oldman a lot, and the director did let the right one in, which was good. I'm happy to see the Muppets are returning. I hope that's a big, spectacular bit of fun. Dangerous Method is probably one of my most anticipated movies of the year, because I like Cronenberg a whole lot, and I like psychology a whole lot, so hooray.
Yeah.
Hugo looks terrible. And
Hugo.
It's the new Martin Scorsese movie, and yeah, it's going for like madcap kids movie.
Okay.
And it literally reminded me of 102 Dalmatians. And that is the worst association I could imagine from a Martin Scorsese trailer. Like, I mean, it's still Martin Scorsese, so maybe. And Chloe Moretz is in it, who's like one of the few kid actors that isn't just the worst. So, I don't know. But yeah, just that trailer really bummed me out. The Descendants, which is Alexander Payne, whom I enjoy from time to time, and George Clooney just acting it up, so that could be okay. Is there stuff you're looking forward to? I'm just kind of hogging this whole thing. I'm sorry. You asked me, though, so...
Yeah.
Like...
I kind of want to see what they do with the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely looking forward to that.
But, I mean, that means I'm going to have to watch all the other ones in a row.
No, you don't. What? I watched the first one. I think that's all I need.
One?
I've basically heard that, because the other ones were TV movies, so I don't think they were really the best adaptations of those anyway.
Okay, gotcha.
They just kind of were made to capitalize on the kind of popularity of the book and stuff.
And I kind of want to see the new Mission Impossible, maybe. Don't know.
No, that's fine. I mean...
I've seen every other one.
Yeah, so... I've seen every other one, too. I initially was kind of like, whatever, but someone did point out to me, like, dude, Simon Pegg has a gun in it. And I was like, oh... So,
and you know,
I'm
Simon
into that.
Pegg.
I do like Simon Pegg. And Josh Holloway's in it, who I think should do things.
Is he?
Yeah, he's like chasing him or something in that trailer for like 2 seconds.
He was like the best part of Lost.
Sawyer was great.
Yeah,
like I initially hated him, and then he slowly becomes that lovable kind of dick, and you're just like,
usually
yeah.
Around like season 2, the end of season 1. It's when you really start to get into Sawyer, I think.
Yeah, I actually quite enjoyed him.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to think of some other stuff here.
There's a new Polanski this year, which looks really weird, and I want to see it. It's like an 80-minute comedy with Jodie Foster, Kate Winslet, Christoph Waltz, and John C. Reilly. Like, that's the entire cast.
You just said comedy.
I know!
Okay. I'm
maybe,
on board.
Maybe more of a dramedy, but I don't know. Like,
What's it called?
Carnage.
Why does that sound familiar?
I don't know. It's opening a festival at some point this year. It's kind of got some buzz around it.
I sincerely hope that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty good at his job, and those are 4 people I enjoy from time to time.
I was going to ask you, does Tintin
like
come
Jodie
out
Foster.
this year?
Yeah, Tintin's at the end of this year.
What are your thoughts on that? Have they changed at all?
As they started showing more and more, I got more into it, because like that first trailer kind of bothered me because they seemed to be kind of hiding what the people look like, and then when they showed Tintin, I was like, that looks weird. But Captain Haddock looks funny, and I like Captain Haddock a lot. So, yeah.
Cool.
And Edgar Wright co-wrote it or whatever with his, freaking collaborator, Stephen Moffat. Yeah, and Joe Cornish. And those dudes are pretty funny. So, yeah, I don't know. It could turn out okay. Warhorse, though, looks really bad.
Warhorse, yes, it does.
I mean, Spielberg, he's been part of my childhood and stuff as well, and done some pretty great things over the years, but that just looks like the most emotionally, just sentimental movie ever. And I never cared about horses very much. I mean, they're big and they kick people and they die. Like, that's kind of the big association there,
It's
right?
kind of sad when they die.
When horses die?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, it broke its leg in a gopher hole. There's nothing we can do. But,
what was the horse's name in Shadow of the Colossus? I can't remember.
Oh, just give me a second. Argo?
Yes.
Yeah. That was a good moment.
That's a damn good horse.
Yeah, it was a good horse. And then we're getting into next year stuff. There's tons of stuff next year, too, but we won't keep going.
And Angelina Jolie's first directorial debut or whatever? This year?
What are you talking about? Okay.
Yeah, she directed a movie.
Alright. I mean, sure.
Why not, right? I guess.
What did I see her in recently that was... Oh, Girl Interrupted. Yeah, she shouldn't have won an Oscar.
Did she actually win?
Yeah, she won Best Supporting Actress.
Really?
That
what was she
have
up
happened.
against?
I don't know. Apparently nobody. So.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you're right. Maybe somebody totally more deserving lost out. I don't know. Let me just check up on that.
But anyways, yeah, the movie I'm talking about is called In the Land of Blood and Honey.
Yeah, she
directed and wrote it. So that's gonna be interesting. I think I'll probably see that. So
I liked Wanted.
It's a romantic movie.
That was a fun movie. She was in that. That was okay.
Yeah, but she didn't write and direct it.
You're right.
That's why I'm excited to see this.
Oh, are you just hoping for a train wreck, or you think
kind
she's
of.
no, she's got it. She's got the talent.
I don't know. It's a rated R romance film. So it might be okay. I think. I don't know. Oh, dude, right. There's nobody I recognize in the cast.
Great. Is she even in it?
Of course not.
Oh, okay. People act and direct. That happens all the time.
Yeah, and some of them are really good.
Yeah, that can, from time to time.
I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see what comes out of it. We should probably see Warhorse together.
Oh, I don't know if I can stomach Warhorse. I don't know. What was the the movie that just came out that starting to get it's literally getting Oscar buzz, and I'm just baffled. Is The Help?
Really?
And I guess for Viola Davis, which I mean that's believable. She's a good actress. She was in Doubt and has. I do want to see
that movie though.
Okay, I can't. I don't think I can watch that movie.
Why?
It just looks.
Racist?
It looks like. No, I'm not racist.
You're pretty racist.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I mean more like that movie looks weird and condescending in a way, and whitewashing history and being like, oh no, whatever, racism was never that big a deal. We can solve our problems with, open-mindedness and being cool. And I don't know. I want to see Mississippi Burning again. That was a good movie about racism. But this movie just looks too sweet and simple. Like the trailer literally reminds me of The Blind Side, which I never saw because I know I will hate that movie. Maybe I'll just go watch it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've had it wrong this whole time. And hold on, I'm still trying to find this Oscar information. There it is.
But I mean, Emma Stone.
I do like Emma Stone, and
I'm kind of on this
Davis
thing where
is
I
good.
think I might have to see everything she's been in because I've seen most of it.
Yeah, I'll go watch Paperman before I see that.
But that means I gotta watch Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. I don't know if I'm into that idea. Matthew McConaughey. Ugh. Oh yeah, Jennifer Garner. Gross.
Yeah, I don't like Jennifer Garner, actually. Okay, here's the other nominees that year. Toni Collette for The Sixth Sense. Catherine Keener in Being John Malkovich. Samantha Morton in Sweet and Low Down. And Chloe Sevigny in Boys Don't Cry.
She shouldn't have won.
No, I know. Of those, I'd probably go Catherine Keener.
Yeah,
watching that again recently.
I don't like her at all, but...
Oh, okay.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That movie was nothing special, really. I watched it for Elizabeth Moss in it. So, yep. Well, anyway,
yeah. I think this might be getting drug out a little longer than it has to be now.
Yeah, sorry. Our filler thing just kept going because I'm looking forward to too much stuff. I hope those are good. I watched a trailer for The Artist today, which is that kind of silent film that got a lot of buzz at Cannes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be good.
No?
It just looks like some of the critics I was reading that I kind of more like it seemed more representative of how I'll probably feel is like saying it's almost like a bad caricature of a silent movie. Like it's like gimmicky and not, truly authentic in that way.
So it's like the 3D of silent movies.
Yeah, like it looks like it's almost being black and white and silent just to be kind of like, oh, look how different and arty we are. And it's like, oh, but this movie just isn't good, guys. I mean, you forgot to make a good movie as part of it.
Yeah.
Like I think that'll probably be my reaction.
Okay.
Just based on the trailer, like it just looks like it's trying really hard to just be weird, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, did you see Mel Brooks' silent movie?
Which one?
Mel Brooks did a silent movie in like the 70s. It was like a comedy.
No.
Like that was okay because it at least seemed to kind of just be having fun with the whole premise and stuff, and it knew it was not important. Mm-hmm. This movie's acting like it's important, and I kind of don't like it when movies do that.
Gross.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Sorry for just going on and on, but thanks for joining us, I guess, again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monastery's closed.
Yeah, alright. Monastery's closed. Go see Planet of the Apes again. It's the best thing happening.
Until Piranha 3 Double D.
Yeah, sure, I guess. Next thing to look forward to.
Movie of the year. You heard it here first.
Catch you next week.
See ya.